Hi, I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats at hotDOCS in downtown Toronto. I'm here with PATRYK REBISZ. How does it feel to have the film that you co-directed, Shoulder the Lions, screening here at hotDOCS?
Well, in case you didn't know that, this is one of the most prestigious festivals on the planet.
Oh, you don't say.
Well, when it comes to documentaries, so definitely it's extreme privilege and extreme honor to be here. Toronto is a fantastic city and filled with culture, great food, when we love food, so it's absolutely fantastic.
And tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind this film, this whole idea of a musician who has problems hearing or a photographer who loses their sight.
Yep. The original idea came from a book that my wife, who's a co-director, has read, and as I'm listening to the stories, obviously there's tremendous, hundreds, if not thousands of stories and experiences of this kind of transformation. Some artist or some person that has their career going, and then bang, something traumatic happens, and then they have to change, rethink, and whatnot. I was not vibing with the idea. I was like, you know what, Irenes, I'm not sure I'm really liking it. However, she kept on bringing up certain examples and more examples and more examples, and I realized there is something potentially profound here. Namely, when you're already dealing with sight, when you're dealing with auditory experience, when you're dealing with brain, namely ideas, then all of a sudden you have creating something like an image of a person, the qualities that define us as human beings. And before you know it, I realized that we can actually take the ideas of talking about art and disability into farther places, the places that abstractly talk about what it means to be a human being. And then I started getting excited.
Absolutely. And in the film, you do this very amazing thing where you recreate what your characters are going through. So for the audience. So for the musician who was suffering from a ringing in his ears, you recreated that. So just tell me about the process of figuring out exactly what they were suffering from and doing that in the film.
Well, since we are making a movie about suffering, why don't we as filmmakers suffer too? By spending considerable amount of time and energy of figuring out how is it that we're going to portray those states of mind. One of the things is that, like as many documentary filmmakers, you end up watching incredible amount of other films, and you start noticing certain patterns and certain laziness on the part of filmmakers of not necessarily going far enough with the ideas, with the way how to talk about the ideas, how to bring those ideas to the surface. And we ask ourselves, can we actually push the envelope a bit? Can we push this medium into farther places than where it is right now? And one of the places would be, can we, in some poetic and abstract level, try to visualize those state of minds those people were in, the conditions and whatnot. And we discovered that yes, that is possible. I mean, to do that, we actually ended up making originally a small little mood trailer, like 3-minute mood trailer, also so we could show it to our subjects, so that we could be like, oh yes, listen, this is what we're going after. It's not going to be a typical documentary. There's something going on here, but also to prove to us as filmmakers that we are not kind of talking, blowing steam off the, and we did it and turned out quite successful.
Absolutely. And as a filmmaker, you use so many different senses to put together a piece of art, a story. But what senses do you think a filmmaker would have to lose for it to really inhibit your work?
I love this question.
Okay.
I love this question. Let me think. Because each of the senses, here's a curious thing that we discover is that no matter what really happens to you, you will find a way, and that's like the most positive thing. And I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm not the most positive of a person. I'm very melancholic and all of that stuff. However, one of those great qualities is that you discover is that you will find a way. So in that sense, I'm not sure there is a way to totally stop you from pursuing your goal, your dream, and whatnot. And there's plenty of examples of people who actually something did happen to them and that kept on going. And not only that, I will go farther, that often that keeping on going despite of all the obstacles often produces much stronger art. When you think about, for instance, famous let's say Degas, who was a painter, ballerinas. And when you actually pay attention, that at some point the ballerinas stop being less exact, less perfect. He has to stay away from oil paint and start working with pastels. And those, and ask any artist, I am an ex-painter, so I know a little bit about it. Ask any artist, they will tell you this is the strongest work of his life. Despite of the fact that his eyesight was failing and he could barely see, he had to get very close to those images. So in that sense, and of course, I don't want to necessarily make it too too happy. Oh, all you gotta do is just lose the sense, and everything's gonna be happy. You find a way. It's not that. It's extremely difficult. You are gonna have to find new paths in life, but at the same time, there's a way to keep on going.
And where's the best place for us to find out more information on you and the film online?
Yeah. ShoulderTheLion.com, where we have all the screenings, including the ones related to here at hotDOCS, and then you will find more information there.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats at hotDOCS in Toronto.